health is very cheap. It means that the greatest thing that people can gather and obtain is healthy happiness. Looking at the same fact from the other side, one has to say that health is not a loss at all. When the Lodaham chakra of people rotates, sometimes there is profit and sometimes there is loss. But the only gain that is never a loss is health. Sometimes the ultimate way to people's happiness is to be healthy. Now, we should inquire about the way to live a happy and contented life after attaining that benefit called health. What is health? Where does it occur? How to get it? Some of the very simple questions we need to answer can be stated as follows. A healthy mind resides in a healthy body. Our teachers who chose this saying for us said that being healthy gives you good mental strength. In short, you can learn well. The flip side of this term is equally true. It means that a healthy mind results in a healthy body. To be more precise, it is when the two come together. That means, health means a healthy mind as well as a healthy body. There is a basic point that we need to understand here. That is, when one is sick, he is sick in body as well as in mind. When you are healthy in body as well as in mind. None of us can deny this truth. Now it is not difficult for us to understand the facts. The mind is also the root of illness. In other words, disease first originates in the mind. The word for sickness or disease is very wonderful. Diseases. That means lack of convenience. If these words are interpreted correctly, it is not difficult to find the cause of all diseases. Disease. According to the meaning of the word, illness is the loss of comfort. That means, it is not something that we have created ourselves. Whichever path we take, there is a sandstone into which we fall. That is, the sleep of the disease is the mind. The disease originates in the mind. If so, it is very clear that getting rid of the disease or attaining healthy happiness must start with the mind. Now let's think like this. What do we do when we feel difficult? We try to stay away from it as much as possible. It is the same with disease. If disease is inconvenience, we should avoid it as much as possible. This intention of alienation first arises in the mind. In other words, isn't our desire to get well the first step to health? So don't you see that the way to get rid of many diseases is to treat the mind? Let us now take two small examples. I can't stand car horns. Then my head starts to itch. This is a small illness that happened to one person. Because of the really unnecessary honking noises in vehicles, you will get a headache for a few hours. Another will say, I can't stand dust. I make clothes. In fact, even God above cannot save the present world from dust. The dust will increase more and more. According to our friend, the entire future generation must be asthmatic. Both these little examples reveal an important fact before us. That is to say, our first friend adopted the bait on his head, and the second friend adopted the mask of his own free will. None of us can stop the unnecessary honking of vehicles. Unnecessary dust can never be finished. If that's the reality, should we all be sick with headaches and asthma? This is an important question that needs to be answered. But in this world with too many honking vehicles and dusty pavements, not everyone gets a headache. Do not suffer from asthma. So, where is the problem? What caused the disease? Our first friend thought that if the car horns were too loud, he would get a headache. In other words, along with the unnecessary honking of vehicles, he has accepted the headache. Even if he couldn't, if he thought like this. The horn of the vehicles went to hell. No matter what, I don't get a headache. In fact, most of the diseases we have are things we choose to accept.